Hello Divas, Dudes, and Dolls, I'm Caricature, and welcome back to my tried, tired, and true little review show, Very Slay, where we go over each and every main stage runway look on RuPaul's Drag Race Global All-Stars. Unfortunately, again, surprise, surprise, I'm not in drag, and I just like threw on a little eye and a brow and called it a day, because y'all, I'm so tired. Life in general is going great right now, but like all of the Drag Race stuff that's coming up on the pipeline, stream events, collabs that I've agreed to be a part of, things that have come up all last minute, changes to my editing schedule that had to be made this week. It's all like hitting at once. I need a good long nap, you know? And with this release schedule, I'm not gonna be getting one for quite a while, which is unfortunate. And also, I don't particularly really care about Global All-Stars at this point because the season has been kind of awful in a lot of ways. So I don't really care what I look like for these reviews at this point. I'm not gonna make a huge effort to like look stunning and glamorous and gorgeous. Anyways, for those who want my full opinions on the actual challenge of the episode and my general thoughts on the whole thing and the way everything played out, you can join my Patreon for free and access a little cute discussion post where you can chime in, tell me your own opinions if you want, whatever the case may be. But anyways, the way the show works is that if I think a look is just fine, got the job done, but didn't blow me away, we give it an okay. If I love it, we give it a slay. And if I don't like it for any reason, we give it an A. That's all in efforts to find my weekly slay of the day, my favorite look out of the episode that will go head to head up against our current reigning slay of the season, Galavar's Garden of Eden look from episode 1. Whichever look holds that top spot at the end of the season when we've crowned a winner, I'll make an illustration of. That will also be up on the Patreon, and sketches and little progress shots as I get working on all of those things. However, they will all be locked behind a tier. For like $1 a month, you can see the art that I'm working on. So if you want to get behind the scenes looks, all of the Drag Race art that's coming down the pipeline, designs I'm working on, whatever the case may be, that's the place to do it. I know there's not a whole heck of a lot there right now, but more will come as I have more time and as the move comes to an end. So we'll get there. If you want to wait until I've said that I fully moved in with my boyfriend, I do not blame you. So the theme this week was Eat Me, so anything based around food, local cuisine, and we had some interesting looks on the runway and a lot of pretty good ones. And we're just gonna dive right on into this little buffet of fashion. Okie dokie, first up we have Queen Kong. I like the sleeves. Like, it's fine, but I think she could have done more with this because it's basically just a bell sleeve crop top, a little corsety undershirt, and a pant that's like a pretty straight cut pant, and then a headpiece with fruit. I don't know. I just didn't really care for it that much, in all honesty. It's adequate. I'm not saying it's horrible. I wasn't a fan of the fabric choice. I wasn't a fan of just the detailing options here. It's certainly better than some things we've seen from her, but it didn't like wow me in any ways. It's okay. Next up, we have Galavaro giving us a little chocolate and candy moment. I love this hair so much. And I love the Marie Antoinette idea of making this all like let them eat cake, and the cake being like her ass, I think is quite funny. I really like the detailing throughout this. Like, it really does have that Rococo vibe, but in a really colorful and playful way that I enjoy. Kind of gives me outfits that you would see like on a top model photo shoot, that sort of energy. I love the little stockings and gloves, like the candy striping of those. And I think her having like the reveal to just being like naked with like a few dollops of icing is very on brand for her. And honestly, I kind of want to add this to the lineup of things to draw. The thing that sucked, I would say mostly about her look, is that like the hair kind of falls out when she's walking the runway. Not great, but I loved this look a lot. I'm gonna give it a slay. Next up, we have Kitty Scott Claus giving us a nice little English breakfast moment. And while I don't really care for the details that much, it's fine. Like, it's the most interesting thing about this is like the back piece and the scale of that. The tail thingy that she has, the showgirl vibe of this. Those pieces are the best things she's worn all season. I think in general, this is probably the best thing she's worn all season, which is unfortunate because we're on episode, what, 7 now? And it's taken her that long to have one look that I even remotely think is like good, even though it's not really my favorite. I think the bodysuit is decent. It's a bodysuit, you know, but conceptually I think it works. I would say if I was going off improvement, I would give her a slay, but I still don't like it that much on a personal preference, so it's okay. Like, I can admit it is an objectively fine look, but it's not my personal taste. Next up, we have Nelania. This look, the color alone is gorgeous, but this is, aside from the violin look we got in the brown runway, this is her best runway by a long shot. This mint color is stunning. I love, more than anything, my favorite part of this whole thing is the like draped gathered fabric that's like the cream of the inside of the cake, just like pooling out of the skirt. It looks so good. I'm not the biggest fan of the cherry on top of the headpiece, but the rest of this look, just from like a costume construction standpoint, it's beautifully detailed, it's beautifully embellished, and just the construction of this look alone is absolutely fantastic. And it's a real standout on the runway this week for me. This was definitely a slay. Then we have Vanity Vane giving us a Swedish Fish moment. From here up, gorge. Here down, no. Girly, I hated this dress. The silhouette of it's not flattering on her at all. And I get what she's going for, but it's another one of those looks where it's like on like a global all-stars. I think we're expecting it to be these really over-the-top silhouettes, these really grand concepts and really spectacular pieces that like really smack you in the face when they round the corner. And nothing from Vanity has done that, even remotely. And I think this season alone, and Vanity is a good example of this, really shows as good of a concept as Global All-Stars is. It really shines a light on the opportunity disparity that the queens have. But Vanity season was still fairly recent. There's not a huge amount of opportunities for drag in Sweden, from what I understand. So like, it just doesn't feel like there's an even playing field. I try to keep that in mind when I discuss some of these queens looks, but personally still, I do not like this. So it is an A for me. I think she could have done more with pushing a silhouette or pushing a concept behind a mermaid cut dress that just has like a fish head for the neckline. Next up, we have Alyssa Edwards, who is the prime example of like economic and opportunity disparity between the queens this season. Because my God, her runway package must have been stupid expensive. I like this hair a lot. This look in general is giving me the antithesis to Throb Zombie's Trash Can Children look in episode 2 of season 5, like the ice cream guy who's putting his guts into his product. Kind of gives me an idea to draw a look with the two of them together in some capacity. As much as I like the hair on this, because it's giving me, specifically, it's giving me the girl from Candyland, like the 80s design where she's got the little blonde ponytail. I think the shoulder pieces are cool as giant ice cream scoops, but it's just giant ice cream scoops on a little corset with ice cream cone tits and then a little tiny skirt. The tights are incredible. I love the tights. They look gorgeous. But this is another one where it's like, those silhouette should be asymmetrical to feminize the body. And when you take away the shoulders, it's a very straight cut, very like A-line silhouette. But when you add the huge hair and the huge shoulders, it makes the look read fairly unfinished because it's so top heavy. It's like the rest of the design went out the window. I think for me, I'm gonna give this look a tentative slay because I do love it, but she looks like a linebacker from the Ice Cream Sea, representing for Queen Frostine. And it's a vibe I can get behind, but my goodness, I want her to wear a fucking skirt with some volume. But like these last few weeks, this is essentially the same silhouette as the dress she made. It's the same skirt length, it's the same cut. I would like to see something different. Next, then we have Tessa Testicle. I think this is one of her better runways of the season as well. I think it's really flattering too where all the cutouts are throughout this little cheese gown. Best makeup she's had all season too. This eye shape is gorgeous on her. And I think the hair problem that I had last week where the scale of it was a little too small for such a tight little wig with this little thin ponytail, the bun size on this is like perfect. I love how the dress also like kind of comes up and creates this collar. She looks like some weird food fantasy character, which is kind of fun. So I'm gonna give her a slay. And finally we have Pythia, and by golly was this her episode. She had, in my opinion, the best Snatch Game. It was so fun. And then seeing her in this look, that has the color of the spinach element, and then the gown itself is like this really sculpted lightweight fabric, so it really captures like the flaky pastry crust. On a textural level, it's genius. I think it is one of my favorite looks from her across the whole season. I don't know if it totally beats out her ball episode look that she made as my personal favorite thing from her, but this is certainly very high up there. I love the silhouette of this. I love this, just the fabric work and the draping in the dress is so gorgeous. Like, I just want to get in there and look at all the little placement details and all the ruffles and all the pleats and all the everything. This is fantastic. This is a slay. And there we have it. It's time now to pick our slay of the day. And I'm giving my slay of the day this week to our robbed queen, Pythia, who is going to take it for the second or third time that we've given a slay of the day out for this season. I can't remember. I'm just ready for this season to be over at this point. But now it's time to take her Eat Me look and put it next to Gallivaro's Garden of Eden look to determine which look is going to advance another week. And in my opinion, this is probably the closest bout between the two looks for that top spot. And I think that Pythia has put up a really great fight here, but I still don't think it's enough because this Garden of Eden look is the most visually arresting thing I've seen all season for me. While I could do a really beautiful illustration of Pythia's look here, I do not think it would hold a candle to what I could create with Gala's. We're gonna keep her in that top spot going into episode 8, and by golly, I also think it's fair that we keep her there because I think that she has been done dirty this season. I'm so over the kind of like xenophobic comments that a lot of this season has boiled down to, or where we are basically taking each of these queens from all these different cultures and nations, and we are boiling down their personality to ethnic stereotypes. So Nelly's been getting it lately, Gala got it a lot this week, and I'm kind of over it. So hopefully it doesn't continue. I'm just ready for this season to be done. Thank God there's only like 4 or 5 more weeks. But as always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those lovely little things. We're getting one step closer to our next goal every day of 1,000 subscribers. We are just less than 250 away from hitting the next metric that we need for the next tier of YouTube partner. And I think we can get there. I think we can do it. We'll see you next time. Be sure to go out there, stay kind, stay queer, and make sure that your day is very slay.